Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how I do my eye makeup and brows and lips if we get to it. For my eye makeup, I start off with a primer every day. I don't use an overall face primer. I don't think that's necessary for every day. Some people really do. If I'm going to a function or I have a photo shoot, I'll use an overall face primer, but usually, typically on a day-to-day basis, I just use this Urban Decay. It's an eye makeup primer. It's called Eyeshadow Primer Potion. So it works really, really great. But anywhere you put this is exactly where your makeup is going to stick, so make sure you don't put it, you don't want to go outside of the lines of where you want your eye makeup to be. I always start with it right underneath my brow. So start with a very clean line, and it makes lining your brows, if you do that, easier. If you start with that really clean line under here, and then bring it down all the way into your brow, or all the way into your lash line. And make sure you kind of blend it out. Because if you have any lines or anything where you put it on, that's going to show through your eye makeup. So blend it into a nice thin layer all the way over your eyelid. And it will become tacky so that your eye makeup will stick to it. And it also keeps it from wearing off and from creasing. If you don't have a primer, you can use a little bit of a concealer or a concealer mixed with a little bit of moisturizer. It may crease with that, whereas it won't with this, but it will help it to stick a little bit. Anything that kind of makes it tacky. I do and to suggest that you invest in an eyeshadow primer. It really does help. And then I start off with my lightest color. You're going to want to cover your entire lid in the lightest color so that when you do put your darker colors on it, you can blend, because, like I said, whatever you put on this is going to stick, and you're not going to be able to blend it very well if you don't go ahead and put the lightest color on there. I use the NYX Pearlescent Pearl Mania color, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I use a brush about this size, and I start right underneath that brow line, and I make that really straight crease where that was. And I bring it down. And like I said, I cover the entire lid in it. And I like right above the lash line to be light. I think it makes your eyes look bigger, so I bring it down into my lash line. And I bring right into the inside corners of your eyes. Tip, that will really brighten your face up. But if you have normal sitting, like if your eyes are normal to close sitting, that'll help you. But if your eyes are naturally far apart, this is actually going to make it look even further apart. So this, where you put that light in the corner of your eyes, is only good for women with normal to close sitting eyes. So try and keep that in mind. After I get a light base over my entire lid, I start in with my darker colors. I use the Lorac Unzipped palette. It's great, really earthy tones. It's got a lot of shimmer on this end, and these are matte, and I really love that because matte eye makeup is actually harder to find than you think, although it's becoming a little bit more trendy. I use these two the most. I love them all. This is the second palette I'm going through. I'm going to start with the Unbridled, which is the darkest color at the top over here. So I start with a little bit of that, and I start right above where the crease is in my eye. So I just do that crescent shape. And the key to great eye makeup is blending, blending, blending. Like when you think you're done blending, continue to blend some more, because it's really going to help those pigments bind to each other and that primer, which will make it last longer, but it'll also come out with a very nice, beautiful, smoky finish to it. So just continually blend. And I don't go to the corner, the inside corner of my eye. I just kind of smoke it out towards the corner of it. So just blend over and over again. And then I go right underneath the bottom lash line, and I just kind of do the corner. I don't bring it all the way to the inside. It's unnecessary, because I want that shape to be widened with this. So I just bring it in the corner and just kind of smoke it out. And I never think it looks dark enough, so I always go back later after I do my brow and everything. But that's what I do for my eye makeup. It's really simple. You can use multiple shades of colors. I just use that basically those two on a day-to-day basis. For my eyeliner, I'm just going to use a roll-up eyeliner. Sometimes I'll use the pot and the brush, but it's not really necessary every day, so I'm just going to use this nice roll-up liner and go to the corner, and I bring it to the center of my eyelids, the top and the bottom lash line. I don't go to the inside corner because that's going to make your eyes look smaller, and I'm all about those big puppy eyes, so I bring it from the outside corner of my eye just to the middle lash line. And make sure you kind of get it deep into your lashes. You don't want it just sitting above your eyelashes, because it will be noticeable. And then I do the same thing for the bottom. Just to that middle part. I use a blender, the blender tool that's on the end of an old one. You can use a makeup brush or a sponge, and I just kind of go over it and kind of smoke it out a little bit. And like I said, I don't push it all the way to the center. I like that soft, smoky look on my eyes, like right through there. For my mascara, I use the They're Real Beyond Mascara from Benefit Cosmetics. It has a really great brush attached to it. Now, a good tip for this, a lot of people just go up and down. Twist it and face it towards you. And get that pigment right into your lash line, and it'll separate those lashes out, and you'll avoid that spidery look on the ends, and it's going to make your eyelashes look a lot fuller and a lot longer. So start in that direction and kind of feather them in this way, and you'll get that mascara deep into your lash line, and you'll be able to tell a huge difference if you don't already do it this way. And then flip it to the side and brush up. I go in between and give it a second to dry, but I already did the other eye. And I just brush down on the bottom. That's not necessary to kind of go in that lash line. And you'll definitely see a huge difference when you start doing it that direction first. So that's kind of how I do it. And then once I'm done with that, I usually go back with a little bit of that dark color, and I kind of just go in. But make sure your mascara is dry, obviously. Now, also a good tip that a lot of people don't know or don't have the patience for, if for some reason you get mascara on your cheek or your nose or your eyelid, don't wipe it. Just let it dry completely, and then take one of your sponges or a cloth or something and just brush it off, and it's going to flake right off. It's hard to learn because you want to like wipe it right away, but it'll really help you. Just learn to let it dry completely and then wipe it off with a cloth. In the next video, I'm going to go over my eyebrows and my lips.